So I wanted to come on here to give a simple explanation, I guess, or not explanation, but just like really kind of bring it all around. I keep trying to like take it all in, right? Me seeing different cultures, the way people move, different, through different movies and just throughout history. I've seen how like I want to make more sense, or yeah, make sense of like what I see different people do, why they do it, the way they move. Because of course you get somebody that's from the snow, they're not going to be or move like somebody that's from somewhere really hot, from the beach. They're going to have a whole nother way of thinking and moving altogether. And so it goes on with, like I said before, with athletes, with all kinds of movers and doers, essentially. And wanting to bring it all together to make sense of the reasons people do what they do as far as movement goes and healing the body, and what it means to kind of like put it all together for you in a more, I would think, a fun way, and like, because like I say, people are going to do what they want to do when it comes to being athletes, fighters, whatever you're going to choose to do, whatever the case. Or even just teachers or people that, like, there's always a reason to take something from somebody and apply it to your life in some way. And so me seeing, as far as expressions, as far as just any type of like any derivative of a person, and what it means to align themselves and heal themselves and make life make a little more sense when it comes to healing the body. And just kind of just whatever that means. And in this instance, it's aligning, I would say, the centerpieces, all of the parts right here, as a main focus, because like I said, there's a lot of other things to look at, but I'm just saying that there's more of a center focus to broadening out that makes a lot more sense. And when you make movements, there's a centering. Like these things, like it's funny that when, like I say, you go through the motions long enough and you start to really make sense of, like I said, emotions and just people doing what they do in their lifestyle and how they live, just whatever they're doing, and it kind of having a reasoning behind why they went to the cold places, why they went to the rainy places, why they go to these different, why they're nomads, why they do go into certain fields of athleticism, of whatever kind, yoga, whatever the case may be. And because of course you have characters, and those characters are set in certain settings, of course, just like a movie, whatever you want to call it. But those certain characters have a role. This is all groundbreaking stuff. Those characters have a role, and those characters have a certain signature and reasons on why, if they're really who they say they are and they do what they do because that's what they do, then they have a certain movement within them on why, certain muscles that'll activate more than others, certain ones that are tighter than others, certain ones that are looser. There's a lot of reasons, there's a certain maybe your brain, your how you were brought up, things like this, all kinds of things you know, culminate to make up who you are as an individual. And like I say, but there's a disconnect between people that are learning to be these things, that want to do it, and people that have a natural movement but don't really, like myself, I'll say, speak up on it enough to make sense of the movement or the expressions or the emotions. Or like I said, if you could put psychologists and all kinds of people in a room to make sense of a person that moves when it comes to the muscles, so you need somebody that does muscle work and things like that really understand that, and then you would need someone that does spiritual work, and then you would need somebody to do all of the things that, you know what I'm saying, because like I said, when you speak it out, like I said, when you center yourself, you see kind of like why cultures are cultures and why people do what they do. No matter what the case may be, it starts to make more sense when you can bring in the psychology and you can bring in, you know, the muscle work and the everything that makes up a human. Because like we all know are really learning now when it comes to Reiki, when it comes to, you know, different therapeutic, you know, what's the not occupational therapy, but they use essential oils and stuff like that. It's not Reiki, but it's something else, right? But you get what I'm saying. So it's like us now getting more into the fact that it's a lot more real than you think it is when it comes to smells, when it comes to like I'm saying personally now that me going through certain things and, you know, realizing that smell is very important when it comes to your muscles, because and I mean literally, because if you can't find the smell within yourself, within this, it's held within here somewhere for your receptors to be able to get. But if it's blocked and it's clotted and it's all kinds of things to where, you know, you can't smell. I mean, it's about as simple as it gets. If you can't smell anything, that means you can't really breathe there either. And like I say, I'm learning that it is definitely possible to breathe through those blockages in the muscle that you think can't be pushed and breathe through. It is very possible for you to start small, but be able to pick up and move through your entire body, to be able to actually have the function to be able to pull up your spine and breathe in and out and through the entire parts of you, right? Through the inside mainly is what I'm getting at. But I noticed, like I say, if you could see that, you know, if you can broaden, you know, Superman, there's different cultures and things that you'll notice, different movements that make more sense than others, just by finding certain ways to start and not thinking that it starts from the outside in, but from the inside always out. That if you don't have this part down, then how can you get all of this around if this part isn't done first? You know what I mean? It's, you know, simple stuff where it's like it doesn't seem like would you, but if you can't get the center parts of you first and spread out, if you can't get these parts first, like I can. It's hard to explain, but it is easy. But there's parts of me that are pulling really tightly right here, right? That means that somewhere within this is branching out. If I can start here, there's a muscle, because like even I notice in certain parts of my fingers, like I've said before, it drives itself exactly where I know it needs to go. Like I'll have an issue just right here, and that muscle, once I figure out that I can move that part, just that muscle, that is to go travel and find itself. But finding the movement, right, is in the middle, in the center, is more important first. So no matter what, so like I think about it like this: how can you move yourself without actually moving the things that you know you're able to move to make yourself move? If you have like I said, if you have a hard time just learning anything, any athletic anything, right? It's very tough to know what you're moving for. And if you don't know that it's not you, maybe, or you don't have the emotion to know that there's people that naturally have this type of structure to them, right? Or a person that's way more slender, so they might have a different expression to them. So they fit a different demographic, a different sport, a different thing, or whatever they choose to do, right? Like, or even dance, right? There's a certain flow you'll have, but I know that there's a thing that I'm noticing where there's a lot of people that maybe don't really, like I'm getting to, creating like a function off of, because like I say, some people know exactly how to move, is what I'm getting to, right? Some people know just the thing, like they just naturally know, because like I see certain people and I go, that is about the closest I can see somebody knowing how to move, how to without restrictions, because they did the proper yoga work, they did all of the stuff, the stretching and the moving and the pliability and the molding and the breath work on the inside, and they know, they've studied structures, they know how to do certain things without having to think on you know what I'm saying? And I'm learning too, because I can't really say at this point, that I'm necessarily that person at this moment, because it's I'm still learning that there's a lot of things that I can do differently when it comes to just moving. Like I said, you want to learn something, but you don't learn the basic moving mechanisms. People, I see even people have this thing to where they do this, or even the belt that'll shake them up like this, but nothing on this or this. This is not learning how to get find a, how you got the head swivel thing, so you can do that. It's for this, and having the strength to go here, or actually learning how to only pull and work just these, only figuring out how to do this. I want y'all to, because I'm hoping y'all can hear all of the stuff, because like I said, I do this daily, right? But it's so right, so I'm learning myself, but I'm noticing that if I can really try to pull up, because I've always, like I said, I've seen this woman to where, or just people, because I watch, what I'm saying, I see how, so when they I seen this one where she would she did her squat, she had a thing, and she'd go down, because I want to talk about the thing too, to where it's they there's a certain point, right, where people go down, and when they get, for one, here, I notice it's they like it's like they like it's like a break almost, right? It's like they adhere, and then like let's say they got something heavy, and they go to press up. It's like they stop, and then there's like something else about right here. Damn near everybody I see like does that to where it's like a break. So they'll have it and they'll do like this, and then as they come up, like because the button will be like this, so they'll kind of break this like piece. They'll do like this, so they'll be like that, right? But right here, it's like this it's like they pull. It's like this is how you pull up. It's like this is how they're trying to get up. So like I say, because this is my thing too. It's like I said, so many years of this, and I'm just trying to always like this. And so I noticed that it creates this more, right? So now I'm trying to work to like, you know what I'm saying? To where when I lean back, I feel release here to do here. But the thing is I'm learning too, is that because I would do a lot of exercises, that it's actually not good to bow like this, but actually try to like, we'll keep this here, but like, of course you're gonna be on the ground. But when you do it, you're not trying to like just bend at this point. So that's new for me too, like if you're doing like a Superman or something. But I would notice it's like, they would like press, yeah, that's what I was saying. So like other than like this like a little stop, so I guess it's both. But I've noticed it's at the same spot, like when they go down, right? Because I'm noticing too, because it's like a lean forward. So yeah, you do need that to like stay, like this needs to drop. So you need that like this to stay down that way. That makes sense to me, like a little lean. Makes sense to like, but because I know that they always say there's always going to be, but I think that's still just because you have a super like weak and also tight in certain places, pelvic floor, and like there's certain bands. I think that's more so. I think because this part that I said like with the centering isn't together enough. Like people, you know, it's like this. So I noticed, like I said, when she would go down like that, it's like this part, when she would come back up, would like go back. And so that makes me think right here, it's either too tight or this is underdeveloped, which I think is most people from here on down. I think most people, because they don't, you know, this is not a, you know, whatever the twist. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I know this is like, nobody really works right here like this, holds, whatever, let's see, twist, whatever the case may be, and just try to hold it. And see, my thing is this, because it's like, right? So that, like Taekwondo people know what I'm saying. Right? Having that like that. See, well, I can turn out so that makes sense. See how that rotation right there? That pull is definitely right here and in the center. Like I said, it's this. But I think it's because this is too tight because of overcompensation, because this is all I'm going to move. When I'm, like I said, if I can take this away, what am I going to move to get this leg up? Like, what do I have to do? It's most likely going to be this muscle right there to get to, is going to be right up in here. And that's usually where I notice people have issues. Because I know that's why I got an issue. It's right up in this area. So most people, I guess, know that, but like I said, and this is the thing too, is actually me like taking a second to notice that I can like pull the centers up. I don't have to, it's not just this outer layer being, you know what I'm saying? It's not just moving this and doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Like I've chosen to like see how much of all of this I can like manipulate. Even down to my toes. I'm saying, but just realizing how much, like I said, putting way more emphasis on squeezing and twisting. I would say, because like I've noticed too, like this doesn't really do much, but I noticed that this does. This is way more of a thing. However you want to, how tight, like you can hear it. But I'm trying to, instead of like let's say this is cut and I only have this piece. Again, how can I get this leg up? I have to either that, but I have to like, instead of hip hiking in the back, like most people will do, right? Hip hiking in the front parts. So this actually gets work. Breathing through it. The breathing part, I feel like, you know, I have to like really show somebody we can go through it, but it's like, instead of me just breathing in the parts that I know I can breathe in, me isolating certain parts. It's not even just me trying to move, like I said, try to move my whole stomach. It's me isolating certain parts that I know, like I said, it's not just here. There's stuff to move all the way down here, right? And so, like I said, trying to figure out what the center is when you do things, instead of trying to think big broad muscles get the leg up. You know, there's a purpose to move. How did this foot get there? By the hip, by this piece here. But most people don't work to get here. They don't pull it to get there. What do? That's only like these two spots, right? And so if I could, like, I don't know, try to move more so, if I can get myself to almost drag myself, you know what I'm saying, like, to get myself, actually, if I can figure out how to lift, but only lift with my, try to only lift the best I can with just this, and try to keep the foot down, right? Like, I want to work against myself in a way to stretch it. You know, like I said, you can, it's like trying to, you know, it's just trying to work and find it. It's not just, because it's not even just the twist of this, because I know people say do like the thing like that, which is really good because it really does keep everything in check. But know that there's the reasons, like I said, the reasons why you're doing that. So could you do this, but without moving your arms? Can you only go in a circle? Can you only like move in? See, maybe a little light. I don't know if that helps really, but can you only move in a circle? Like, instead of just like doing like that, like you have that in mind, but you're only like, so when you know you do it, it's more of a like, you have way more of this in it. Like I said, dancers know exactly. Certain people know, but I'm just saying there's a way to tie all of these movements together on where it starts from. If you want to know exactly which one you're doing, you know what I'm saying? It's like I said, you go to certain classes and you go, how did I do that? You know, it'll make more sense if you find the breath in the center first. If you find this part from top to bottom, what that means first. Ow. Like I said, it's just like that, right? Learning that it's more of a a twisting. I don't feel people twist enough. They think that it's just here or here, there, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, whatever, boom, whatever, like that. Like, I feel like, well, there's not a lot of movement, period. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot, but just, like I said, it's something simple. But, like I said, I notice is, like, if I could find it, I start to notice more so when I'm really getting into, and this is, like, the best introduction I don't know, I can give. But it's, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's, you know, finding that movement on what it is, and when you really catch it, when you're not afraid to, like, do certain movements, when you're not afraid to, like, roll around and really and you really pay attention to movements you've never done before. Like I said, my thing is that, you know, I've always liked to just do stuff. I've always liked to just, you know, get into things as such. And it's always put me in spaces of learning, right? There was never really a direction, but there's never really been a time for me to really ever speak on any of the things that I've been seeing, learning, and doing. And for it to all actually make sense and not look like I'm just trying to, like, take from something or do something else. Like, I'm saying that I'm finding ways to, like I've said a lot, quite a bit. It's like I'm literally looking to transform my whole entire body to where it's not, like, you can hear it, like, this is, like, what I'm saying. It's like I'm always looking to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, on the inside, like, I want to be able to be as in shape as I can be, but only by squeezing, only by calisthenics and movements, only, you know, like I said, lifting weights and all that's cool and all. There's nothing wrong with it. But doing calisthenics and things like that, and just dancing in different, you know, whatevers to get what movement really means, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, it's not just me moving. It's like when I want to think myself through something, I'm actually moving that muscle. Like I said, you know how they say, like one of them Asian movies or something, like Chinese movie or something like that or whatever, where the dude, like, does the stick, you know what I'm saying? He's like, wow, or something like that, you know, because he, like, the dude grabs it because he, like, hits him with it, right? And he's like, you know, he takes it and he whips it like that, and it, like, you see it just, like, and it, like, breaks up, and it's like, and it's like, ah. You know what I'm saying? That shit's real. Like, I just, like, it's real because I just did it. You know what I'm saying? I know, and I'm forever stand on this because I'm doing it. But it's like, as I think of it, I'm actually, like, imagining my arm turning, but also not because I'm turning it, but because if I could have, like, a sense of, like, if something got pierced right here, right, and went through, there's like a mechanism that turns it on the inside, right? That's what's making me move. I want to find the inner muscles to move myself. I don't want to just have the primary, like I want to try to turn off any prime movers that I can and try to only move with the muscles that I don't ever move. I want to try to see, like, oh, move the big toe head, you know what I'm saying? Like, move your big toe type, you know what I'm saying? Like, move this one, dude. Just, okay, I can't move it now, but if I think of it enough, if I put enough energy into it enough, then I'm pretty sure that I could breathe, think, and find to where I can then be able to just move that specific inside muscle. It's not the big ones anymore. I don't want to think about those. I want to strengthen the little ones on the end, right? All on here. So it's like, I'm not really trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, that's the best way I can explain it, dude. I'm taking certain muscle groups to do it. I've just never, like, done this to show it and explain kind of what I mean. You can't really see what I'm saying necessarily, because it just looks like I'm just moving this, I'm just doing this, you know what I'm saying, or I'm just whatever. But it's like, I'm thinking of you know what I'm saying, that's about it, you know what I'm saying. I'm just wanting to find muscles that I don't move with, to move with them. So if I know I move these certain muscles a lot, well, how can I move that way but not like that? To squeeze but not squeeze. I want to find enough to where I can squeeze. You know, it'd be a lot slower, but to where I could do like that the best I can, but not actually those actual muscles that do it. You know, because literally you're seeing it, that there's certain ones, like even in your hand, like with this, that are, you know, made to hold on or move or do something, right? But there's a lot of other muscles we don't choose to use, you know, that I think are the reasons why we're not as strong, or we're as tight as we are, because we're not as aware of the little muscles on the inside, because we don't breathe in those little muscles. We don't realize that we can breathe throughout our entire body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say what you want, but I know that if I can, you know, if there's a muscle that can pull in my diaphragm, what the hell is my diaphragm and shit connected to? Like, my spine and everything else, my pelvic floor, my legs and my feet, all of that stuff's connected to something. What else is it connected to? You know what I mean? Like, it's me doing this every day. I can't keep thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing this to literally get rid of, you know, because like my grandpa would always talk about how his knees would hurt and stuff like that, or he couldn't do certain things when he got older. And ever since then, I would hear just all kinds of stuff from people and just kind of listen to them, just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, okay, well now at this point where I've learned that I can, like I said, I've been through massage and stuff like that, to where I can see, you know what I'm saying, how things are supposed to move and go, and what muscle is this, and how it's just a little bit better when you start to be able to sculpt people. It's like, but if I could do this alone, like, you are my mentor as a therapist, as a massage therapist, but you are my mentor, because if I could think of myself to move this muscle myself, I can do that. I can find ways to think my body through things. Like I said, I know it doesn't really like make sense to people. Maybe, I don't know, I don't get a lot of feedback on it a lot, so it's like, I mean, I do, but I don't. But, you know, because it's like, I guess, because I don't know, people really, I don't know. But I'm just saying that, you know, this is something I've done for years now. Definitely half a decade already over that. So it's like, you know, I'm seeing it for myself, that I can think my way out of this crystallization, this build up, to where I'm not a hard body. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very malleable body on the inside and out, to where that is my toughness, because it's very much harder to break. You know what I'm saying? It's not, at least I'm learning, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is not a party trick. I'm breaking up things. Like I said, the twist, right? Learning to twist, trying to twist things. Like, if I can just twist my hip, like, the shorts don't really help to see it, you know what I'm saying? But if I could twist just my hip, I'm strengthening, so I'm taking off pressure, because I know that only this part right here, these bands that go down, are really strong. About right here, and all this area of my hips are really strong. Because this is kind of where I have to, like, try to stabilize everything, so I'll hold that, right? But all of this is nothing. Like, there's nothing to keep this. Like, this is jelly. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like a soft, like a firmness. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Most people, it's just nothing right here. It's kind of like a fold. So it's like, they don't have this. So they got a strong here, like I've said, and a strong here, and a strong, like, in the hips, and that line right here to kind of keep you stabilized. But everywhere else in that, like I said, other than just back here, because, like I said, that's where a lot of people, you know, I'm noticing, like, this muscle in the quadratus lumborum, right? The old hip hiker, I believe. You know what I'm saying? It's overworked, and so you don't have enough release of a pressure, like I said, here, and in the back of the neck. You know what I'm saying? All in the traps. And I've learned too now. I've said this before, but I've noticed like this piece here. I don't have to like, you know what I'm saying? This, because I feel it. I know, right? Like we know. We just don't know that we know that that's a release point. Like you can find ways to stretch that. Like people don't think you can like try to find a way to stretch it, pull it, move it, right? Like not just, oh, I'm trying to stretch my arm out, and you're just like moving. I hope people really, because they like, dude, like I have removed so much issues and pain and released so much to where I can actually like I say, just move a lot more freely without thinking that I'm about to like hurt myself, like, or do something. Because that's what it was going to, you know what I'm saying? Me doing so much stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's just like so tight and stuff. I'm asking all kinds of questions like, well, what do I, well, stop drinking the protein and working out, live so much weight. I'm not trying to flirt with you. I'm just asking. I'm just curious. You're flexible, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering what the hell, like, all this pain is about, because I feel like, you don't have to be so rude. Like, I'm just, you know, but it's like, realizing that these parts are as tight as they are, and actually, like, most of this is actually turned off, even though this is right up in here, and these, I keep doing that, you can see both, are hella worked, right? Like, it's too much, because this goes all in all of this, right? It's overworked. So the issue is, like I said, is if you can start pinpointing it, there's certain parts of you that are really strong. Like I said, we all good up here because of all the tenseness that we have, all that, like, we're always doing like this and we don't even know it. You need to like be able to press more. But like I said, finding that center too, there's different parts, like I said, like right here still that I have because of this right side being so stiff, right? Like pressing right there, this whole piece is still too tight, even though I've worked a lot of this to where this is loose, and now I gotta stay on it to not only strengthen it because I'm like breaking up all the new muscle, because this side was easier because I never worked this side a lot, like as much as I've done chewing, you know, working, pulling. This was like, you know, the arm to like, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever I needed to do, you know what I'm saying. This was the side to do it. So now, you know what I'm saying, even though I'm a natural, like, orthodox, you know what I'm saying, for some reason, I've always been, I guess because of the wrestling, but just more natural to, like, this side, for some reason, just, I don't know. And then finding out that I actually somebody told me I could probably do better at doing it as a southpaw, you know, if I want to train that way. So it's like having all of this as tight as I do, you know what I'm saying? It's like I said, now I have to like work and realize that there's, you know, a lot to deal with here, because it's still too, I used to sleep like this, you know what I'm saying, the whole nine, to where I'm getting to this, man. I'm getting to it. There's a lot, right? So where like, if I can figure out, okay, if I slept like this and this leg is like that, because if I'm honest with myself, I'll notice, like I say, I'll see certain people, they'll do something, they'll roll their ankle, and you'll actually like watch how they'll do it. You can see that most likely, like if this was the toes, this was the heel, that they didn't work their heel like this enough, right? So, or if, you know what I'm saying, whatever way they rolled it, right? Well, I can see, you know, okay, well, if they rolled it like this way, right, and they go that, well, I can tell, okay, that this is probably not strengthened enough. This needs to be pulled. So there's most likely a pull right here that's too tight here, but too loose to be able to, because most likely he can't pull that, like he can't go that way. Like I even heard a snap here in my hip, right? So this here, if I can follow it, because I felt it. Most likely here it goes down, but also I feel it here too, right? So these two pieces, and it moves up to, I guess, there. But you know what I'm saying? it's all me just guessing a bunch of stuff, of course. But, you know what I'm saying? I notice it's like if you just pay attention enough on what you do need to strengthen, if they come out like that, I can tell that I have not strengthened, because see how the knees go out like this. So now I need to figure out why this is so tight to where I can't expand this way. So if I see that and I pull myself out of it, I notice that right in here on the inside, I'm sure this is probably uncomfortable for a lot of men, but get over it. So like right up in here, right? I notice that that's tight. So I got to question where that travels into my back or whatever the case may be. But I can feel and sense when I do certain things why it is what it is. You know, it's like I said, if I see people roll their ankle, you know what I'm saying, something like that, you can tell when they, like, you can just see it. It's weird to explain, but if it's like this and they start to do it on the way they did it, you can tell, okay, well, this is probably too tight. Or needs to be loosened up, tightened up or something. This is too, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. And you can follow how they do it and travel it to where most likely they were doing too much on this side. Or they weren't stretching and being able to bring that heel back or pull forward like this. They didn't strengthen it that way, or they didn't strengthen. There's so many little muscles that I'm noticing. Like, if this is your foot in it, right? Like, there's so many muscles that go in and through the leg. So like that, and in and through the leg, right? It's like on, and that's why they say you need to work your stability muscles if you don't know what. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sense of why people say to do what they tell you to do, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say, well, you want to get better at this? Yeah, well, go do that and do that for a long time, and then you'll go, well, why am I doing it? Because you need to. You need the stamina, you need the endurance, and you need boom. Or you need to know balance, because there is a system in your body that you don't realize on why you can't get your leg up, like you trying to, and you can't, it's not working. You trying to find something to do and you can't figure out why you can't do it. But you won't go through the navigations of, I overworked this. I need to strengthen this. Maybe I need to do more of these instead of these, because that's too much for this. Maybe I need to do more of these or like I said, the rotational ones. Maybe I need to massage myself. Maybe I need to get this down more, straighten that. And, and then find different ways to balance myself on the heel, on the side, and on ways. But I need to know why I'm doing it. Like I said, there's a reason you specifically need to know what specific muscles, because you've overdeveloped or it has been atrophied or weakened or whatever the case. For you specifically, to release the back, the tight hip flexors or what have you, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you can hear my knees popping like crazy. This is not because, this is a good thing. This is because I'm constantly releasing muscles in my hip and things like that, in my thighs. Like I said, this up to, you can hear it, up to about right here. Like I said, down is super strong. Up here, it's not strong all around. Is tight though. In that certain up, right? It's a certain piece right here is tight. In certain pieces, like I said, it's strong. But the overall, because like I said, I haven't done the Nawuli and stuff more. Well, I do that. I'm saying, but you might not do it, the Nawuli and things like that. But like I said, I have not enough proper squeezes and pulls. Finding different ways to See, so if I do like this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to get all of this out because it's a lot, but to make it make sense is like I can find now that what I mean is if I find whatever muscle that I know is ailing me, and I'm like, dude, because I've thought about it, dude. If I could just, bro, I've said it because I hear people say, if I could just pop my leg off, dude. If I can just like, I would think me too. If I could really do that, that'd be something. But never really like, you know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact now that there's certain muscle groups, right? So like, I know I need to press this way, right? And then there's a streamline of muscles that I can now pinpoint to. You heard that? Wait, that little. To pull, find that muscle. See how and roll forward? It's like a press and roll or something like that, right? Like I don't really know, but I'm just saying like things I'm learning to do. You know, but it's not like I said. You gotta really like check that I'm not trying to move here. I'm trying to move here. Like I'm trying to open this. I'm trying to open. So if I could like this, I just want to make it make sense that there's a difference between me doing like that. See how? So this will open up more. I'm trying to make sense of the detailedness of this, right? Like, just like not this, but like I'm trying to pull, because I guess okay. So I exhale, and then I'm actively thinking of what muscles I want to hold. And then like I said, I'm not thinking of moving this really, or that little piece right here that we normally move right up in here to get this up. I'm not hinging right here on this piece, right? I'm not doing that. I'm trying to get this up, and this up with the notion that I'm moving my chest with the idea of this is, but I'm really letting out, and I'm finding my spine. I'm finding the middle parts. I want to go from breathing just whatever here to finding, like I said, singers and people I've seen on certain videos, they know about it, where like you breathe in your back. I'm trying to center myself down and into this. Like I'm trying to find that. So when I breathe, I'm looking to, or because I can even do it this way. Or I'm thinking of breathing in my back. Like I said, it's real, right? Like singers, y'all know, where you can do it from here. Well, I'm trying to pinpoint like that. I'm trying to use those breathing methods and, like I said, the nauli and all of these things to get to a point to where I can bring it all down, pull it up and over, or whatever I need to do, like whether it's this way, whether it's up, and I mean literally the avenues, the things you could do on where your body like needs to. But like I said, I'm trying to make sense of what I'm doing, because like I know, like I said, I've seen videos where people do the thing, and that's kind of like, and then they do the flap, and they do that, but it's not. Like I said, I don't know how much of it they're teaching that it's like all of this in here. I don't know how much of it they're trying to tell people that you're really trying to move all of this too. Really, like I said, down to your feet. And don't be minding my mismatched socks, man. It's cold in here and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Who asked you? So yeah, man, just kind of like finding those little like centers. Like I said, you can like I said, I've learned like little ways that I have to move to be able to open up my airwaves. Like people have a hard time breathing, or they got the slump or whatever. And it's like, and it's a hard pull to do this because they're so encased. You know what I'm saying? They have not done enough work to where, like I said, you can do this and like that. This is a thing, I guess. But like I'm settling right now. I want to make sense of this, like I said, of what I do. I'm settling into this. I'm trying to, relax enough muscles, if that makes sense, to where I'm able to then capture them, right? So, and I notice it's like when I really have to relax here, I really want to relax in my face too, because I'm going to take all of that. I let myself settle and relax within myself, and it kind of just presses down, right? To where I'll notice, like, okay, so like if I'm doing that, I'm letting myself sink, and I'm breathing into my body, and I know because I know I'm gonna anchor. I mean, I'm gonna hold certain parts of my body that I want to find and pull. But I notice on the way doing that, because there's so many injuries and misalignments, that there's a pull in my neck right here as I do this. There's a pull in my neck right up in here, and it kind of, well, I think it goes to the back, but it's pretty much the back, but like right there, right? So I noticed that that's a thing, right? Like I can feel like it's not settling like I want, or it's not going back necessarily. Like I can crack right here. I can feel, you may not heard that, but a crack right here, right? Because it's like, I'm trying to, so, right, let me stick to this. So like I have this like lean, right? Or just like this, like, right? And when I do that, then I'm really just trying to catch on because I'm really doing this. But like I said, I relax my hands, my face, and all the things I want. In my mind, I'm still ready to like clinch. I'm like ready, if it makes sense. Like I'm relaxing it, but it's almost like I'm about to pick up some sand or something. Like I'm about to, like I'm relaxed, but I know I have to like, in order to really dig, I have to kind of relax into it first to then be able to pull it up. I can't just like it'll hurt my hand. But I know if I relax and like scoop, it'll make more sense. But like, so I'm looking because I noticed too that there's a turn in my body. The natural turn. I have to be honest with myself, right? And I want to get it right here because this piece right here. But I noticed that I need to like get to this side. But there's something here blocking, and there's something in here that's stopping me. Because I noticed, like I said, there's a lot of tug and pull I would do this way. Whoa! You know what I'm saying? See, so now I know. See, it's like a natural, this is what I would, boom, because bam, you know what I'm saying? So I'm literally just finding these things, and I go, oh, that's because I would always do like this one. And I never really like, you know, this leg is like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, right? So like I said, I noticed that, but I need to get it over this way, but it's a tug this way, and it's more of a natural movement this way. If I'm honest with myself, like I said, as I'm doing this, I'll notice that that's what I naturally would do. This is a natural movement for me to set up and get ready for something, or for a kick, boom, you know? So it's like, when I do all of that and I relax, then I'm able to then pull. And so like I said, this is a thing, okay. But then, like, if I can even not, like, if I can, like, not, like I see, I naturally want to do it, but it pulls, man. So, like, I'm trying to take this compressed back that I have that does like this, and I'm trying to elongate it back this way. So because I learned, like I said, that there's this like cage that you're supposed to have. Like when you're doing it, I don't recommend it, but when you're doing deadlifts, you know what I'm saying, there's a certain, or I guess I definitely don't recommend crunches, but if you're doing like a deadlift type movement or something like that, that I learned that you're not supposed to have like a bow. Like you're supposed to be able to find a way to be able to keep, you know, this all the way through and not try to like, you know, you know what I'm saying? You're not trying to do like this. You're trying to keep everything locked and caged in to be able to activate this. So like I said, to be able to, like, I noticed that like there's a bow that happens, and so this is like what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to pull, I guess, whatever this bow is on the inside. Like I said, most people will flex. They'll flex just the outer. but don't know how to like. Because most people I've learned don't even know how to like flex like their stomach. I tell them flex your stomach. The grown people have asked it, they don't know how to do it. They'll puff out their chest, or they'll do like this thing, or they'll like I don't know what they do, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to just like flex. They don't know how to flex themselves. But most, I guess, an even smaller percentage of people don't know how to flex on the inside, or just how to. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to call it like spine breathing or spine moving or something to where, because it's like I'm not trying to. Like I said, just move the stomach. I'm trying to find a way on how the stomach moves through my back. You know what I mean? And I want to know how. I don't care about superficial, because that's not an actual muscle. It's a protective muscle, but it's not really a muscle I give a crap about. Because if I can figure out how to move the stuff past that muscle, like I said, there's a lot of layers to our body. There's a lot of layers, and we only think of the outer ones. But I don't know if you can really tell, but like, it may not seem like it, but if I were to go get a good solid pump right now, like, there is more, I'm way more dense and a lot more in shape, I would say, than before, because it may not look like it, but I would work a lot more of the outside. But now that I'm learning to breathe and only try to find different ways to breathe within myself even more than what I can hold it, try to push it down, because I know this is, like I said before, a shelf right here. There's some type of shelf going on to where like it kind of like stops, and then I'm trying to get it past this to be able to breathe through all of this, right? If this makes sense, because like I'm trying to breathe down, like I said, that I can like push and breathe up. I can push and breathe down, but the whole deal is that I'm trying to get within to my center and not just try to breathe in my chest, or which I'm saying, like, it's possible that you can once again breathe through all of this. It's like just getting through all of the stuff that builds you up to where you kind of can't, right? Yeah, man, I'm trying so many things, dude, to really, because I thought I was really going to be able to get into, but I guess I can just try to like do a separate one to where I'm just doing the more movements. But I just feel like there's so much just to talk about. There's like, because like I say, man, like when you start to learn different, like I said, different movements and different ways to like, I don't even know how to explain it fully other than just go and see any other culture, sport, and you see how they do, and you try to mimic it the best way you can to, literally that's it. And like I said, when it comes to all the breathing, and you got to go through different ways and see, oh, that's a thing, or I can do that with my body. That type of thing, to where you'll learn how to find that balance, and to where there is no issue with balancing, because you did work all those little stability muscles. But it's through a lot of different efforts and different things. Like I'm learning, it's not just through work. Like if you want to learn just, like I said, skiing, and you want to learn just kickboxing, or you want to learn just, what I'm saying, whatever the case, it's not really, like I said, there's certain athletes that do one thing but go do every other sport other than that thing, kind of to make, what I'm saying, to then be able to do that thing. They actually move away from doing what they do to be able to do that thing they like to do even better, right? So, what I'm saying, there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think it would help with feedback of all that I'm getting into. Because it's, like I said, a lot. But, I've heard some people say that it kind of makes sense to what I'm getting into. But I just want to make, continue to make it make sense as best as I can. Because it's like, I'm actively breathing through my entire body. I'm not even going to play like it's like, there's a way that I can, it's just like you're just pulling. It's a pull system. It's a pulley system. It's literally just all it is on, you know what I'm saying? But you got to be able to catch and find it to be able to then separate it naturally, like through your breath. So you can like find a way to pull, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing it to where like right now to where I can like, even if I have to mimic and imagine me doing it, or if I have to even hold myself and do it, but it's like, there's a way to like stretch the spine up to where all this is going to break up. All this is going to be super, like legit, super pain free, like no joke, because it's like, I still have a lot, but I'm learning, that it's going to take a lot longer than I thought. And that's what I want to say to people, because it's like, I want it to be known that this is not something that's easy or quick or something that's really fun at times. If you're really, really willing to go through it all, because like I said, there's so many points where I can show you, like if I had pictures and stuff to say where it's like, my body was a lot, it wasn't as wide. It was very like, I mean, I'm still not as huge, I'm not a big dude, you know what I'm saying, but, you know what I'm saying, everything was just slight, like there was no real shape fully to me, there was no like, you know what I'm saying, I can't even explain it because it's not even a lot, I'm not even big right now, but, you know what I'm saying, there just wasn't a whole lot to my shape, and I noticed that it wasn't just, because I actually started to question on how much I worked out comparatively to the gains I wasn't getting, wondering why I wasn't getting big, even though getting big isn't even a goal like that for me anymore. Even though I'd like to look good, have a good, nice shape, you know what I'm saying, things like that. But, you know what I'm saying, just trying to figure out like what that was. Like, why am I doing all this stuff and I'm so tired? Even though I work out a lot, I'm still tired. And I'm very tight. And you know what I'm saying? Like my movements are limited, but I think that I'm in shape, and these type of things started coming up, and I just couldn't figure out like I'm doing all this stuff, but I don't feel that good, and things are not as smooth as I'd like for me. Like there's a lot of things I remember doing as a kid that I can't do now. When it comes to a lot of things that normal people on a daily should be able to do easily, and I don't like to that idea of like what is that? Until I started realizing that I'm so compacted, that I'm so drawn in, that I'm trying to compress all the time and not stretch myself out and not really understand what that means when I'm stretching myself out. Like I'm not just stretching myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not just doing like this. Like I'm actively taking and I'm finding the muscles within this part right here, within this part, and I'm stretching. Like I don't know if y'all can hear that. I wish I had like a mic. Let's see, my knee too again. That's knee really. But I think it's because I have to like work this because I didn't stand on this one enough. I was more worked on this one more and did more of this. But you can hear like the release, all like I said, all up in this area right here. You can see all of that. I mean, you can feel all of that. You can hear it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Is like I'm trying to learn real ways of strength, real ways to move. Like I said, going down and doing all that and rough and tumble. Like I said, I'll probably set up to like just do just that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's so many ways that I said I noticed is like I don't want to think of one conventional way to move anymore because it's like it's just not it. You know what I mean? There's no reason to like think just do like if I can figure out whatever way to move into, if I gotta do a push up like this, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, I'll but I want to find that thing. Like I said, stability is everything. I think that is purely, like that is the purest of strength. If you want to find any other way, like I said, when I was able to realize that I'm able to stretch from the inside out, and I need to know what that means. Like if I can balloon myself in certain muscles, I went through a lot of pain going through and realizing that that's possible. Like, you know how when you like, you know what I'm saying, you like swallow a burp? That's what I can explain. You swallow a burp and you like pushing, it's like, oh, it kind of hurts. You like put it in a certain spot and it hurt. You know how it's use that like a fucking tennis ball. Like use those things like that. That'll find it and you can push to fix your back. Like you know what I'm saying. There's certain pockets you can make within yourself to expand yourself. Like I don't know why it's always been so weird for me to talk about this or want people to know about it or even know if people even want to hear an hour's worth of this. But this is where I'm at in my journey because like I said, I do this every day. One big one as I learned like with toes and stuff too is how much people don't realize like this part of your body is like so pressed into it and like you're saying, you don't work your hands, fingers, things enough. Like you don't, you know what I'm saying, like whatever it's like I'm not trying to, like I said again, use external muscles. I want to use the muscles I don't use. But if you don't realize that there's like I said, there's a good knot right here to where I don't know. I think it's because I've done this squeeze so much to where this is so stuck in to where like I now have to actively all the time try to separate this and this. Right? I gotta actively try to get my pinky away from my ring finger. So you can hear it. Like I said, these are not party trick pops and things like that. If you can hear these, this is because my body is releasing itself. Like I said, through all of these movements and things and learning different cultures and why they move the way they move. Like I said, doing the squatting and the rolling and all that. Yeah, all that. Like I said, I'm not doing it right now because I just feel like I want to focus more on this. But, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's an hour long, dude. I don't even know how we got that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Fun stuff, dude. Fun stuff. Yeah, I can do another one or something. That'll good. Word.